Hello, greetings. This is Gilles Mention. I thought I'd come and say hello to wish you a wonderful equinox, for it is really the time of balance and energy, and we'll be able through as we tune into this to our meditation, to our process of sitting, relaxing, receiving, we'll be able to access much more of our new access to memories and the cosmic mind, new knowledge that will come. So. Of course, I always say that I'm not religious, but I'm very spiritual. For somebody who's non-religious, I speak a lot about God, but God is, in essence, the only thing we need to know, the only relationship we need to develop. It is our source, no matter how we can conceive it. It is we want to move Godwards, and that is including more love in our reality. For all of life is one, but within the one, we need to discriminate between the high and the low, the pure and the impure, what is wanted and unwanted. And from there, we are able to appreciate the contrast. For in many sense, we need to balance out what is a physical life, the condition of our life, and our spiritual ascension process. For any one of those aspects that would be lacking, then there would be a disbalance. I also wanted to say that all events and experiences are opportunities that are created by our soul, and that as collective soul we co-create this reality, but if whatever is part of our consciousness is something that we have chosen to experience and create. As we become aware of our God's of our light presence, of our higher soul presence, we become more in control of that which how we define those things and relationship from a higher perspective, which give us insight into relationships. In many sense, I feel like I'm here to reveal some truths. I'm gonna read the cards afterwards, but. So it is a great honor to be part of that evolutionary process. I have a very important project that I'm looking forward soon to manifest. I feel it's very close. I will talk about it when it's time, but it's a very big project that will really move the process into manifestation. The situation for us is happiness, is joy, is happiness. Happiness has to be a choice, has to be a permanent choice. Happiness has to be the center focal of our life. We should always be happy, no matter what it is, because no matter what. And comfort may come if we have this choice of a happiness. We go through the uncomfort and return quickly to the happiness state. And so it is a Spinoza also. As we surrender to God, then happiness comes. It is part. Plato was saying that happiness can only be attained through the development of virtue. But vice and virtue, we need to integrate the vice before we can become aware of the virtues that are the saving grace from the vices in many sense. But we're all part of that one. Everything is education. Everything is used without discrimination by the Creator of all for the evolution of each soul. And what's coming around that is generosity. It is the sense of generosity, to be open, to be loving, to be kind, to be generous. What we see before us is work. For I have this monumental work that is before me, but it is a work that will fill me with joy. What's in our subconscious, the distant past, is the trial. So it's been difficult, but now the time is for merging into the light. So understand that the past has been difficult, but now we see the end of the tunnel, and we have to develop stamina. That means we have to have perseverance. No matter what obstacle comes in front of us, we have to know the light of the soul is more powerful than any obstacle. It was created as such, but we have to recognize this light of the soul. I've been working for more than 20 years with my guide, and now I see the end of the tunnel. It's been a long road, but time has nothing to do with it, but it's just a matter of maturity and soul plan. We've planned certain things a certain way. Understand that we all leads to Rome. Leads back to the heart, to the one, for the oneness. When God created the universe, He separated all the aspect of the universe. But His dream is the unification, the return to the unity of perfect love, divine love model of existence for all beings. And God knows that this plan will succeed. For God's plan can never be put in doubt, in question. Whatever our doubts or fear or whatever we have is because we do not understand the nature of the divine plan, that this immortal, this light that we are, that is our true essence, is immortal, it is eternal, it is indestructible. No matter what happens down here, the soul has never been in true danger, and God will always be God. And so it is about becoming aware so that we can make higher choices that will lead us to this to more empowerment. For we are ascending and descending, and we want to merge and let go of all the gross aspect of consciousness, like negative thoughts or whatever. Sometimes when you tune into the reflection, the mirror of life, then the mirror may reflect you that sometimes you're kind, sometimes you're not. And so when the mirror reflects you that you're not kind, you have to look within yourself to try to always align to that which is good, because we've been conditioned in this world of polarity, where there is certain things that are extremely wanted and things that are extremely not wanted in relationship to where we stand. And so it is about letting go of attachment in relationship to need to attach to any of the problems in order to move directly into the solution that is happiness and joy. What is coming in the near future is indulgence. For it is okay to be indulgent. God is very, very open-minded. God does not judge, and do not judge yourself. Once again, we just... but then it is good to know that we're moving in the right direction by making step. Sometimes it is better to move by small step in the perfection of ourselves, not to be too indulgent, but to set limitation in order to see the progress that we are going through. What we are in this situation, what our strength is temperance. Temperance is... once again, from a Platonician perspective, temperance is when we are master of ourselves, and then we become intemperate when we become slave. Then if we become intemperate, we become slave of ourselves. For we have this light and this dark, and sometimes it is the light that is dominant, sometimes it is the dark. And so we have to blend in and to allow ourselves to the light part of ourselves to become fully dominant within ourselves, so it can use the darkness for its own evolution rather than to be dominated by it. This is how God uses ignorance. He uses that for the evolution of the universe, yet he is always in the light, in lucidity, in relationship to all the plans. And what comes to us from the outside world is well-being. It is the card of well-being, for we have to tune into this well-being, this relaxation, this peace of mind. That's the only way we're going to be discovering that which needs to come to us, those gifts from the universe, move into the settled realm. And what we see in our hopes and fear is the solution. We already have the solution. We just need to enforce the protocols to understand how we can make it work. And things already work. It's just a matter of trusting that. And the outcome is compassion. For it is compassion is the understanding of is the ministry of love. It is how to be compassionate with ourselves first, and compassionate with the world, to have a certain sense of teaching also, because everything goes through education. All suffering comes from lack of light and love and wisdom. So therefore all things go through education. As we educate ourselves in reintegrating those new frequency of light and love, we find peace and true happiness. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I wanted to say also that from a scientific perspective, it seems like 90% of the universe is being invisible. And why is this just like we have many invisible parts? Our physical body is visible, but our thoughts and emotions are still invisible to the physical eye. We can only see that through the third eye. Thoughts, emotions, forms, colors, directions, and astral projection. We will learn to use astral projection a lot more in the future, for we'll learn to use that. It's fourth dimension, so it's not limited by time and space, and so we will learn to use that as a vehicle. But for now, we have to understand that, for what I wanted to talk about here, is that this universe, why is it 90% of the mass of the universe invisible to the scientists? Is because there is a central core, central universe called Avona, with paradise at the center, that's completely, will be eternally invisible. But the universe is like a large disk that goes bigger and thicker and goes towards infinity as it moves further and further away from paradise. Same way the Milky Way is not a bubble, it is a disk. Same thing, the solar system is not a bubble, it is a disk. And so we all learned that for now we have many misconceptions about our universe, because we're using our senses to perceive it, and senses, as Descartes used to say, your senses can be deceptive. There is a higher process of reason that can show you what's beyond the senses. And so that is where we're going. We're going to be coming to discover all kinds of, we'll be able to rectify a lot of things that we have gotten wrong in terms of science in the coming years and decades. We're going to make great leap forwards and progress, and so we are part of that. I wanted to say also that soon I'm going to start this project. We're going to create an environment where I'm going to be able to practice music. and so it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to that. And there is a new spirit that comes to this morning for me in my music practice that I really appreciate, because he was my favorite musician when I was a teenager. It's Frank Zappa, who's working up there, and so it was really, really fun. It was a good encounter. I'm going to finish with a song. Behind me is a painting of an interior from 2006. It is signed, or it would be funny to look at it with a blue light. The blue lights we use in blue lights in old master paintings to see what the restoration have, what are the end of painting. Yeah? So we use this blue light to see that, and with a blue light you could see all the what's behind the surface paint. And originally there was a dog that was sleeping in the couch. There was a cat that was running after a mouse. There was a painter here with a hat that was like painting the painting, and there was a nude model sitting on the chair. And then they're all gone, and then those two people came in, and then the painting finished like that. So I kind of like it like that. But there is a whole history that is connected to that, some of those paintings. I'm going to finish with a song of the king of rock and roll. It's the greatest singer probably of the 20th century. It's Elvis Presley. It's like this. It's a love song. Love me tender, love me sweet, never let me go. You have made my life complete, and I love you so. Love me tender, love me true, all my dreams fulfill. For my darling, I love you, and I always will. Love me tender, love me long, take me to your heart, for it is there that I belong, and will never part. Love me tender, love me dear, tell me you are mine, I'll be yours throughout all years, till the end of time. When at last my dreams come true, darling, this I know, happiness will follow you everywhere you go. Love me tender, love me sweet, never let me go. You have made my life complete, and I love you so. Well, thank you very much. I wish you a wonderful equinox. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you soon. Namaste.